Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Cap and welcome back to the channel. Today's doing something just a little bit different than I'm not doing a typical gameplay commentary here. Since this is a gaming channel, I like to have conversations relating to the gaming world often with you guys, the viewers out there, because that's what makes doing YouTube a lot of fun, is interacting with you guys. So, unless you've been living under a rock or perchance just have absolutely no interest in it, within the last week we got a lot of information about the Nintendo Switch. We found out it's going to cost about $300, it's going to come out mid-March, and it's not going to have a whole lot of games at launch, at least none that they're really telling us about. So I'm kind of curious to you guys real quick, are you interested in it? Have you already pre-ordered it? Is it one of those you're going to kind of wait and see, or you just completely don't care at all? For me, I have a long history with Nintendo. Of course, I've been playing games since Atari, but I had the original NES when it came out in the 80s, and some of my most favorite gaming moments were on the NES or the Super Nintendo or the Nintendo 64, etc. And so, I always like to keep up with what's going on in the world of Nintendo. But I don't know for sure if Nintendo has sold me on the Switch. Now, just to be fair, after the Wii came out, I didn't get a Wii U. So, I don't have the most current system. I do have a Wii, but I can honestly say it's been probably 2+ years since I even turned it on last. And the reason why is because, to me, Nintendo's gone from making excellent consoles and amazing games into trying to come up with some sort of gimmick. You know, after we had the Nintendo 64, we went to the GameCube, and it was kind of like, oh, this is a little bit weird. We got to mini discs and a weird controller, but it's still the same kind of concept. After that, they invested everything in the Nintendo Wii. And honestly, the first time I played it, I was over at a friend's house. There were relatives from in out of town. We had a massive session of Wii Sports, playing bowling and baseball and tennis, and just had a wonderful time. Thought, this is absolutely wonderful. I am totally sold on this. Got a Wii myself, got home and realized, you know what, this is not near as much fun by yourself. And really didn't play it a whole lot after that. I tried playing several kinds of games on the Wii, and just could not do it. I played Tomb Raider, I played Sonic, I played Mario Kart, and just the notion of motion controls just completely was lost on me because it wasn't fun. And so, of course, I went out and bought these standardized controllers so that you could play like that, but it just wasn't fun because there's so many games that are trying to push the motion stuff. And then the Wii U comes out. It keeps it kind of similar to the Wii with the whole motion thing, except for they got you the giant brick with a screen on it for the controller. And to me, it was another gimmick. I was like, I don't care. I don't want a controller with a screen on it here. I'm not going to use it. The only time I would find that beneficial is maybe if I was playing like Zelda and it had the world map on it and I could look at it and see the map without having to open up another menu. But that's literally the only thing I would use it for. And so I look at the Nintendo Switch and I'm like, to me, I see this as yet just another gimmick, trying to do something that nobody else is doing just for the sake of doing something different. Because if I ended up getting this console, it would work just like it does every other console. I would leave it docked to my TV and I would go buy the Pro controller here, because having the little motions or the little Joy-Con grips that they're going to sell with it to clip on the side, I would not want to use those because that's just not something I want to do. I have big hands. Holding these teeny tiny little controllers trying to play on it or use motion controls is not something I'm interested in at all. And so to me, all of the stuff about portability and having a micro screen to go and be able to just click, click, go, and you can keep your game with you, it'd be completely lost to me. I'd have it tethered to the TV, I'd be using a Pro controller, and we'd be good to go. And that brings me to the topic of the whole reason I'm wanting to do this video, in that I really wish Nintendo would get out of the hardware market. And I'm saying that right there. I wish Nintendo would stop trying to produce new consoles. And hear me out. The reason why is because I wish Nintendo would focus on just the software aspect of it. One of the things Nintendo does great is giving their giant seal of approval on games and making sure games have that before they're allowed to be released. So if you play a game on Nintendo, it's going to work phenomenally, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very well polished, and that's what Nintendo has always been known for. And so what I've always wanted is, I wish Nintendo would just say, you know what, we're going to stop pushing out consoles because it's just a niche market. They're all kind of a gimmick thing. We're going to focus just on software, and we're going to start licensing this software to be used on multi-devices here. So imagine this. If for some reason they decided not to go the easy route and trying to integrate the Nintendo library into Steam, imagine that they came up with their own launcher. You know, there's Steam, and then EA has Origin, Ubisoft has Uplay, Blizzard has Battle.net. Imagine there's one called Inverse, and I'll go ahead and give them that name. If they want to use it, they're more than welcome to. Call it Inverse. You launch it up and ta-da, the entire catalog of Nintendo games from way back when all the way to current is available. If there was something like this that I could install on my computer, I would have my paycheck direct deposited straight to the Inverse account just so I could buy the entire library of games. Because when I got the Nintendo Wii, after I got bored playing Wii Sports and realized that all the other games weren't fun, I spent my money buying games on the Virtual Console there. I would have done the same thing on the Wii U, and if the Nintendo Switch has anything like that at all too, I would probably spend more time playing some of the classic games and stuff that's on there. I mean, yeah, a new Zelda that looks absolutely amazing. A new Mario game looks incredible. New Bomberman, and they're, releasing a little bit more and more news about what could come out, and they look like they'd be a lot of fun. And I would absolutely love to play those, but I can't justify spending $300 for a console for 2 games that aren't even going to be out at launch. So to me, what I really wish Nintendo would do is cease the hardware market, create the Inverse, or even if they just want to integrate it into Steam, put the collection of games on there and let us play online with our friends on PC, or license it to Xbox and Sony's where you can play those games on there. Let everybody else handle all the hardware and just focus on making the amazing games and letting us play them. Because I would legitimately spend a ton of money buying games on the Virtual Console if it was for the PC. So that's my plight. That's my beg to the Nintendo Corporation is, if you want to make a whole ton of money, because I wholeheartedly believe this, that if you created an Inverse network where we had a collection of a catalog of Nintendo classics all the way up to current, and we could buy and download them and play them on our PCs or our existing consoles, I think you would make money hand over fist, and you wouldn't have to try and come up with some gimmick control system or some weird console system just to break the mold. So anyway, that's just my opinion, of course, but I would love to hear yours. Do you think that would actually work better than trying to come up with a new console every couple of years and then reporting games, trying to redo the entire hardware so all the developers have to restart everything every time they want to develop a new game? Do you think having something like an Inverse where you could go in and have a collection of them, download classics or even newer games, and access it on your PC, do you think that would be a good idea or not? Anyway, leave your questions and comments and thoughts about all this in the comment section below. I want to have a discussion with you guys about this because I'm really curious as to your thoughts. If you would do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button on the video down there just so I know you saw it and you appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe for future videos. Thank you guys so much for your time. You have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later.